Welcome back to the Tapestry. Couple more kilometres of finely woven bullshit ready to line the walls of your castle and amaze visitors with the tale of how the British ended up losing the 100 Years' War in extra time to a kid making a load of weird ass dolphin noises. If you glance back down this line of twine, you'll see that we were in the middle of the Battle of Partey and that I'd been having trouble with the old cash flow after it stopped flowing from the enemy base into mine. Turned out that my fucking drunk scouts from right back at the start had missed the fact there was a load of gold, stone, wood and generally just the best location for a base ever, about 100 metres from the city I'd been building. Oh, the city was called Fuck John Falstof, by the way, so update your maps. I'd just about scratched together enough spare change for a couple of magical rams, so it was finally time to get to work on the bridge shit, stunking their biscuits in blood because this bit of France got some business that's worth taking risks. It's no wonder these dicks did not try to resist, because their gates fully lit from my wooden ram hit. Can you sew pictures that rhyme for that bit? Yeah, work it out. Now you're the master needle weedle, just fucking invent it. Alright? Fuck. Never thought I'd actually need an art graduate to increase productivity. Well, just in case my tapestries failed to get my point across, I'll spell it out in plain Franglish for you. I found a pretty base, then set their gates on fire by having 2 rams chafe them into friction burn town, which somehow worked despite the gatehouse being made of stone and metal. Then Ram Mears and Bear Grond rolled into the base to blast the defence towers, while the swarms of 0 hours contract soldier understudies I had on escort tried to kill the uppity horsemen wandering about the place. Soon the towers were down with the flowers and old John Rambo and Rambo Cop could go take out the nearby castle. Looked like the British weren't going to stop them, so I just left them to it. It would take a while to destroy a whole castle by slapping it with 2 lengths of maple, and I had better things to pay attention to. The Brits and Bergs had found my new mining bases, so I had to dump my troops there for the time being and get fortifying. Then a messenger arrived carrying a message of utmost importance.
The French are attacking our castles.
Oh no! I am the bloody French! And even if he did manage to not confuse France with Falstof and take this message to the right guy, you probably should have done it when the attack started, not after the castle was already destroyed. Just a little tactical tip from your homegirl Jenny before I encase you in wood and make you into the next Indie Rammer Jones. But strangely, I then heard Falstof say,
"Enough of this. I shall deal with Joan of Arc."
So maybe that messenger had taken the thing to the right place. Maybe the enemy commander, the man who spoke through his nostrils, John Falstof, was actually within earshot of me back in the great city of Fuck John Falstof. A cunning place for him to hide. With a name like that, it's where you'd least expect to find him, right? Truly, we were dealing with a most devious opponent. Any doubt that he was nearby was then erased by this exchange.
"I come for you, Joan of Arc."
Do your worst, you English fop.
Lahire was in the city with me, so Falstof clearly was one of the townsfolk. Although I had more worrying matters to attend to first, namely the fact that the biggest insult that the famous bandit and brute Lahire could come up with was fop. What the fop does that even mean? I got to fortifying my bases, thinking that an attack was due any second. Word was that Ramstein had broken up, literally, rip in pieces you wooden wankers. Then, the Falstof floozy suddenly appeared at my secondary camp, busting in before the walls were done. Shit! I had troops nearby to counter them, and actually it looked like these lads on tour were just passing through, getting real confused when they found their way back was blocked by the bit of the fort I had completed. They were trapped like a millennial in a minimum wage job. We killed them all, and stopped another attack on my main base at the same time. Now the ball was firmly back in my court. Let's just hope it wasn't edging court. Can you sew a picture of some crowd laughing there? Yeah, cheers, love. Oh, what the fuck is this? Yeah, the Falster decided to follow up on his failed attack with what was apparently a favourite tactic of the British. All rams, non merci. My troops rushed in to stop them while the ram crews just rolled about the place with no particular goal, not trying to escape, not going for my buildings, just kind of dancing around the place. I suspect they actually sealed the crew so thoroughly into the ram housing that they couldn't even see out.
What's going on out there, Fairfax?
I think we're nearly at the croquet green. Perhaps another 4 left sort to do it.
Righto, sounds like it's all go out there.
Once that sortie was sorted, I focused on my new river fleet, sailing up the Loire to find out where the Brits were sending all their ships from. Unguarded docks, as it turns out, just what the demo man ordered. Next, the moment we'd all been waiting for. John Aplomb Falstof rode into my main camp, ready to win the day with his solo YOLO antics like he was trying to enact an origin story for Leroy Jenkins. The rest of his party stumbled in shortly, but it was too late. Poor Falstof did fall stiff.
I die for England.
And with his final breath, he forced that patriotic shank of ham through his nose, with all the emotion, passion, anger, sadness and ennui of a man who has died for his people at the hands of his bitter rival. I die for Japan. His troops were soon defeated too, and although they would later return for a second try, by that point I had a castle overlooking the approach to my camp and they were all cut down. During that time I'd been rustling up more magic rams, so it was time to repeat my earlier success. Only this time I wasn't doing it for La Belle France, but instead for that cold hard blood money. I moved out to clear some of the Burgundians away so I could steal their shiny rocks in peace. I was only contracted to kill the Brits, but these purple folk had it coming, and by it coming I mean gold. The attack was absolutely bloody grade A, destroying their defences, wiping out their food supply, and causing sufficient ruckus that I could now swipe all the cash I needed to stop the British. All going well, right? Wrong, because the Brits hit me with something I didn't expect. Another field army made up entirely of battering rams, which managed to float downriver and get into my base. All my forces were away killing purple people or defending my other base, so there was only one thing for it. Got on my hand-me-down horse, pulled out Charlemagne's old-ass sword, and rode to do deadly battle with those runaway wheelbarrows. They did manage to bring down my watchtower, but come on, it was 4 shots versus 1 girl. How was I going to come out on top? What? What the fuck did I say? You sewing shits and your inside jokes. What? Oh, fuck it. We sorted all that out in the end, and we also fortified the Burgundian cash stash so he could take it all in peace. Now you might argue that if I completely walled off the money, then I had no way to actually get it to the guys I needed to pay. Yeah, well, did you forget that I literally invented a time machine that involved dark matter, speed of light travel, and ripping all of Corsica off the continental shelf? If you think I didn't just whip up a teleporter from a few pieces of broken ram, Lahir's anime body pillow, and Falstof's severed head, then, well, that's kind of a compliment, as it means you think I didn't get that paper in the end, meaning I did all the following heroics on the cheap. I win either way. Checkmate. Just don't look at the other side of the body pillow, or YouTube will age restrict this tapestry. Maybe they should have called it UTAP. Wait, that's probably a porn site. Let's check. Nope, it's an Indonesian contactless payment service. Who the fuck dropped the ball on that one? At least you can probably pay hookers with it. Contactless payment, probably more hygienic in that line of work. Anyway, Fort Knox proved pretty good when the Brits came to lame the place again, since they didn't know that the walls were made of fucking wood and they could just cut all the supports away and get in. I guess they didn't know that swords could cut ropes and stuff, since that would also explain why they kept sending in rams and expecting them to defeat my whole army. Speaking of cutting, sometime later I got news that a strike team I'd sent out to level more castles had found some success.
With 2 British castles destroyed, we have but 1 more to raise. Them Brits can't make a castle stronger than their ear.
Ungrateful Frenchies immediately demanding that the castle be brought down. Jesus. I'd be mad at them if I wasn't so confused at why Lahir's accent changes between Cockney and possibly French mid-sentence. We had to do the same shtick again with another British base to satisfy the overlords, hacking through more armies of rams on the way. The base I attacked was much more hotly contested than the other ones, and actually took 2 waves of little piles of wood that could to bring the castle down after an intense fight right outside it. Some random Frenchie declared that we'd won because I was still mute for whatever reason, and that was that. Learned soon after that the Brits had a much less defended base I could have cashed in on to complete the contract, but hey, the best dramas are the ones where loads of people die tragically at the end, right? Lahir survived, by the way, before you get your hopes up. But at least the mysterious Falstof had been defeated. No longer would France be terrorised by a man whose name sounds just as silly backwards as it does forwards. Falstof Fotzlaff. Falstof Fotzlaff. Shit name, whichever way you look at it, really. This victory had also apparently dispelled a myth of British invincibility. Now, I would object and mention that we had already defeated the British at Orleans, but hearing about this myth explained why Orleans was such a shit show to begin with. The Frenchies thought the Brits were, I don't know, death robots from the future, and so that's why they didn't even try to fight them. So now, hopefully, everyone will get their act together and realise that the Brits were mostly just wooden rams rolling about the countryside looking to start shit.
The British are a most deadly enemy, and their longbowmen time and again have decimated a charge of Frenchmen.
More bullshit from this random guy aside, the news was that the Dolphin Overlords were scheming to betray me in some way. So jealous of my bipedal movement, extended vocal range, and ability to digest koala steaks. Look at this fucking try-hard pose they were pulling here too. You should have seen what they were actually saying at the time.
Afin de préserver le monde de la dévastation.
Afin de rallier tous les peuples à notre nation.
Afin de détruire l'amour et la vérité.
Afin d'étendre notre pouvoir jusqu'à la Voie lactée.
Jesse!
James!
La Team Rocket, plus rapide que la lumière.
Alors, rendez-vous tous ou ce sera la guerre.
Miaou, sweet!
Oh, they're doing that weird shit again, aren't they? Whether anything comes of all that will have to be a cliffhanger because we're out of yarn for one session. Helps to take a break anyway, don't want to get too desensitised to this bullshit. Until next time, mates.
Thop, 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 thop. Thop.
An army of rams? How quaint.